Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I will be sharing two really fun projects featuring products from Scrap Diva Design, and this is from her latest release in January, and I will be using a ton of products. I started off by cutting out the hard cherries a bunch of times out of colored cardstock and acetate, and then I will create some small embellishments. I will be using these throughout all of my videos for this month's release, and I will have a ton left. Even when I have created I think 8 or 10 projects so far, and I have used them on a bunch of them, so you will see them throughout the month how I use them. But you can see I cut out of some double-sided fun foam. This is from Picket Fence Studios, this particular foam, and I am fiddling around with it. It is nice to cut. You can see how crisp the lines are with the dies from Scrap Diva and this foam, but I always struggle when I am using foam to create these small embellishments. And you can see I looked through my stash. What did I have that could coordinate with the colors that I picked for my embellishments? You can see I thought that the blue would be nice, and this was such a struggle for me. You probably could have had a spoon or something to put it in, but I used my fingers and it was like ecstatic, could you call it that? They were sticking to my fingers anyway, and I had troubles getting it inside of the cherries, but the end result is totally worth it. You will see here how cute this is, and I decided to go with the yellow one instead of the pink one. I just think that turned out so cute. And you will also see that I took everything apart and then put in the bling. So I did this really the hard way, so please learn from my mistakes and just use a spoon and be careful when you're doing this. You can also see that some of them I cut the bigger leaves, some of them I used 2 leaves so that they will have more of a full look. And yeah, I just played around and I had a ton of fun, and this was really relaxing, just playing and looking through my papers and using up my scraps. So here you can see how they are all turned out, and we are quickly hopping ahead to the Valentine word tags. I also created these for embellishments for my projects, and I created a couple of ones. I stacked my love sentiment here a couple of times just to give it more dimension. That is something I love to do. I am more friends with paper than with foam, so I just love stacking paper, and you can see that that really gives it a lot of dimension. For my box, I am using the new flip top box. Immediately when I saw this set, I was in love. I think it's one of those sets that are great to have in your stash, perfect for gifting or just using around the house. I find that if I have some small embellishment, they are perfect just to pop in there because they're quite large. I'm sorry, I'm fiddling a little bit with the box here, but I cut all of the pieces off camera. I use some pattern papers from my stash. I believe it's an old crate paper. And then I have some solid colored cardstock from Concord and 9th. Don't ask me which color. I just looked on the pattern paper that I used and thought I would try to match it up to the best of my ability. And you can see that large piece that I was fiddling around with, it actually cuts 2 pieces. So don't worry, it's meant to do that. And I'm just pre-creasing all of the score lines just to have everything nice when it's time to go to the assembly part. So I'm using my glue press here from my Sweet Petunia, and it's loaded with it's actually my favorite adhesive from Nuvo. And every time I have a glue bottle that is starting to get empty, I quickly put it in the glue gun just to make sure that I get all the glue out. In that way I can sort of use all the glue that I have in the bottle. You can see here I need a little bit more glue, and I will press this down, and I'm trying to line everything up to the best of my ability. And I found that this box was super easy to put together. I created one more box off camera, and you will see that in a second as well. And I use a different color combination for that one. And I'm putting glue to the sides, and then I will press this in and hold it in place until it dries. And I started at the top and then worked my way down. So I really have this nicely tucked together. And I'm just using my fingers here just to make sure that everything is aligned. And then I'm doing the top of the box. I'm sorry if this goes a little bit too fast, but I thought I wouldn't bore you. This video is quite long as it is. And I am just pressing those together, and I will have it to the back of my lid. You can see I'm just hiding those bits to the back. I hope that makes sense. So you have a nicer inside. It really helps when you are doing that. You can see those funny looking pieces. You are supposed to adhere them to the top of the box to make it not go all the way. So this sort of reminds me of a crayon box or something like that. And this is the part that's gonna help you. I did this gluing too high. Don't do like I'm doing here. Stop before it don't reach the top, and please put some adhesive to the front of this. I don't know what I was thinking, but you can see here the glue is too high on the side and no glue to the front. So yeah, you can figure out that I was a little bit mad at myself at this point, but I think it turned out nicely in the end. I had to go back and make sure that I had some adhesive at the top there, because otherwise it would have maybe accidentally gone open on me or fall out. So the pattern paper, it was really easy to figure out which bit went on which side. So this large one on this side, and on the sides here I'm just using these parts, and on the other side other one. And you will see on the back I used the 6x9 pattern paper for the box, but I also had a larger 12x12 pad, and I had to go back and cut a second piece for the 12x12 because I thought in the beginning I didn't need anything to the back of this box, but in the end I really needed it to look finished. So I used a larger piece of paper to do that, and that is really nice when you have the larger and the smaller size. You will see it looks a little bit funny, but it's okay. And you can see I was contemplating having it to the inside or to the bottom. You can decide what you like, but you can see here is the pattern paper that I used, and the collection is the Flourish one. And I cut that piece, and you can see it's a lot bigger scale. So I also want to point that out, that the 6x9 pattern paper in my opinion is the perfect one for card makers, because you can get 2 panels that are A2 sides out of it. So that is something I really love. And I also think the scale of the paper is nice when you are using that and not the large paper, because that is good for scrapbooking or projects that are a little bit larger. For this one I loved the 6x9 papers, but you can of course use whatever you like. And then I was really struggling because I wanted an embellishment to the front of this box, but I wanted it to be able to move and not be there permanently. So I had this clip in my stash. It's a heart clip in the perfect teal color, and I just did some beading here with a heart in gold and a little star, and I was thinking of just clipping these together on top of this tag. So that is what I'm gonna do, but I struggled, you guys. I struggled a lot to get it exactly where I wanted and not to hide my sentiment here. So I will just have it say love on the front. I thought that was a cute sentiment and perfect for Valentine's. It's soon coming up, right? So you have to create some boxes, and I know my kids would absolutely love to get some treats inside of this box. And I will put this to the top of the box. And I also found this perfect little flower in my stash. I created it last spring. I have a video and I can put it up in the right corner if I remember to do so, how I created it. But it's from an older Scrap Diva product called Frailly Rose Flowers, I believe. And I just love it. I think it's so cute. And I decided to move it from the lid into the lower part, so it was easier to open the box. So here is the second project that I created off camera, and you will see I did a little bow here with the mechanism on the top. So you can see here I accidentally ripped the paper that was holding the lid in place. You can see it there. But it was fine. The box worked pretty great, even though I did that mistake. And I will share another technique of how you can have this box be completely closed if you do this mistake and don't want to start over. So from the new release, there is also stamps that come, Valentine stamps, and in this set is this cute little circle stamp, and I stamped it a bunch of time with white pigment ink and then covered with white embossing powder. This is something I love to do when I have sentiments, to just have it in white on top of a colored cardstock. And I heat set that and cut it out. You can see how it looks with the coordinating dies that comes in the flip top box set. So I run it through my machine. I was careful lining this up perfectly, and I used some adhesive just to make sure it was in the completely right size. And then I had the backing piece there. And I'm sorry, my camera, it's a little bit of a glare here in the camera. I also punched out a couple of, I think it's 1-inch circles. And I have some strong magnets that I will press in place. And then I will press this to the inside of this box. And I have done the same thing later on with the magnet on the front. So you can see I'm just lining them up, making sure that they are attached. And then I can do the same thing here. So I'm putting out a little circle. I'm putting out some double-sided tape. I will press this in place. Let's see, I will do it double, so I have a lot of adhesive. I will just pick it up, and then when I have picked it up, I will make sure that it's completely, perfectly sandwiched here. So I have this hidden inside, and then I can take some more of that tape, have it in place, and pop this on top. Of course, now it's in the right place, and I know that this will look good. And then I can take some foam to the top of this and just make sure that it's attached to the top of the box so that it will follow. And I'm just lining the magnet up and then pressing it down. Hope this makes sense. And I thought it was quite a neat way of closing this little box. So here is a closer look at our 2 projects for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video and got inspired. I will have my coupon code down below for 10% if you use it in Scrap Diva Designs shop. And I will also have links to all the products that I used in this video. Thank you so much for stopping by and leaving comments and subscribing to my channel and just liking this video. It means a lot to me. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Bye!